Sometimes we set athletic goals, but this is the mistake we make. It is called student-athletes, not athlete-student, which simply means that your academics comes first before your track and field. But shock absorber, your coach would want you to perform. So it is both. They both go hand in hand. And for you to achieve both, you have to learn the art of time management. Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you. And if you're just coming across my page for the first time, please do well to like, share and subscribe. So without wasting much of anybody's time, today I am here to talk about time management as an international student. Now this is a very important information and something we as international student athletes do not put into consideration when we think about traveling abroad as a student athlete. Better still, coming to the United States on a fully funded scholarship as a student athlete. So I'm just going to list out points and ways you can manage your time, because it has really done a lot of harm than good most times, not because the athlete isn't good academically or athletically. It's just simply because they do not have the idea about time management. And this is also resourceful for student athletes who are here in the US already. So it does not necessarily serve for those who are only coming, but also those who are here as student athletes. So time management. What is time management? That is the first thing you want to ask yourself. Time management is the ability to complete that statement. Yes, give yourself the answer. You know why I said so, because it is what you tell yourself. It makes it easy for you to implement. Now let's head straight. First thing first, you want to set clear goals. As a student athlete, you want to establish clear academic and athletic objectives that helps you guide your time management strategy. Try to set specific and measurable achievements, relevant achievements, and also time bound. Smart goals. Yes. When you have goals, when you set goals, it makes it easy for you to have a clear direction of where you're headed. That way you pretty much understand what you're doing and you are able to hire what is meant to be prioritized and measure what is meant to be measured. But when you don't have goals, when you don't have plans, when you have not set out or established an academic or an athletic goal of where you're headed, it pushes you here and there. Sometimes we set athletic goals, but this is the mistake we make. It is called student athletes, not athlete student, which simply means that your academics comes first before your track and field. But shock absorber, your coach would want you to perform. So it is both. They both go hand in hand. And for you to achieve both, you have to learn the art of time management. Secondly, create a master schedule. Use a planner, calendar, or app to stay organized and on track. Now let me break this thing down. Coming in here, you might not know that there's something called team meetings. You might not even be aware of study sessions. You might not be aware of study halls. You might not be aware of tutorship. You might not be aware of weights in the morning, practice during the day. You might not know all of this, right? You might just have it in your mind that, oh, I'm coming to the US to run track as a student athlete and I just go to school. You need to understand that the way academics is in your country is not the way it is here in the United States. There are loads of assignments, my darling. That's the part you do not know about. Loads of assignments. But here's the thing. Your academic staff advisor would make sure that your timetable is planned around your athletic schedule, which simply means that classes would not clash with practice. But at the same time, there are times when you might have impromptu stuffs come up, right? And if you're not doing well academically, you would have to get a tutor. You would have to go to study hall. You would have to plan for those tests, those assignments, those exams. You have to read and prepare for them, especially if the plan is to be an A student and also a good athletic student. So this whole thing takes planning. That is why I said you have to create a master schedule. Now, 3, prioritize your tasks. Focus on the most crucial academic and athletic tasks ahead of you. Allocate sufficient time for each of them. Make sure that you're using a metrics to categorize these tasks, then focus on the most crucial ones first. Because the truth of the matter is, if you don't prioritize your tasks, you will just turn your minors into majors and the majors will be suffering. And the moment your majors begin to suffer, things are now suffering. Let me tell you something. Once your academics go wrong, it's going to affect you athletically. I know you think what I'm saying is not true, but go and ask people who have fell into that category. Because once your academics go wrong, your scholarship is at stake. Once your academic goes wrong, you might not even be able to compete anymore. Once your academic goes wrong, your mental state will not be in order for you to focus in practice to enable you give 100% while you're practicing for you to improve as a student athlete. So academic is important. Now, athletics too is important. We all know that we want to run fast, go pro and all of that. So if we are injured, it's a problem. If we're not doing well in practice, it's a problem. That way, mental challenges begin to set in. That way, that thing they call depression begins to look like it's hovering around you. Yes, and when it begins to happen, it will now spread into other things like your academics. And guess what? That way, you generally begin to tolerate and everything is affected. You don't want that. You really don't want that. So you want to make sure you prioritize your tasks. On to the next. Use time blocking. Divide your day into dedicated blocks for classes, studying, practicing, and also relaxation. Very important. Use time blocking to minimize distractions and maximize productivity. Yes, when you have good time blockings, it would help you put out your day the way it is meant to be. You make sure that you're heading to classes when you need to head to class. You're studying when you need to study, taking assignments when you need to take them, practicing when you need to practice, and most importantly, relaxing when it is time to relax. Because if you don't recuperate, if your body breaks down, you will not train and you will not go to school, and that's a problem. That's a problem. That is a big problem. A problem. So make sure you're minimizing anything that's going to distract you and you're maximizing everything that would be productive to you as a student athlete. Now, next is you want to leverage downtime. You want to make sure that you are utilizing travel times, break times, those breaks in between classes, or that spare moment to study. You want to make sure that you're using these little times in between to review your notes. You want to make sure that you're completing assignments. You want to make sure that you're staying ahead as much as you can. Now, what are these downtimes? So, as a student athlete, sometimes you're traveling to one meet or the other. You see that period you're traveling, you can be taking care of one assignment. You can be taking care of one particular chapter that you need to have in mind before you head to school on Monday. Yes, that way you've gotten that out of you. I know you say you want to stay locked in and stay focused, but guess what? As you are staying locked in and you are staying focused, you better be staying locked in and focused academically. If not, you will lock yourself out completely from this. Yes. So you want to take advantage of these little times. For example, when your lecturer cancels classes, take advantage of those moments. Fix the things you need to fix. If you go for afternoon practice, and probably in between your afternoon practice is weights, maybe an hour, you have an hour before weights. Make sure you're utilizing that small, yes, this 1 hour, but utilize, because you don't know how much you can achieve in that 1 hour. Next would be develop a pre-game routine. As a student athlete, you want to make sure you establish a consistent pre-game routine to ensure you are physically and mentally prepared for your competitions. This could include visualization techniques, warm-up exercises, and also team bonding activities. You know what works for you as an athlete. So you want to have that going, because that would help you. It would really help you physically and mentally. If you have God, hold him. In fact, you should not even be holding any other thing except God. Yes. And don't hold him because you want to run fast, or because you want to jump high, or because you want to throw far. Hold him because he's God. And when you put him in front, every other thing will follow. Let's go back. Developing a pre-game routine would help you a lot. This is also part of time management. I know you'll be saying, is this one too time? Yes, it is part of time management. That way you focus, get the game done, put your mental health and physical self in good shape to enable you go back to the other things that needs to be taken care of. Now, next would be communicate with your coaches and professors. This is one challenge I know for sure that international students has. The thing is, communication is key. When you don't communicate, how do you expect somebody to know? You want to make sure that you keep your coaches and professors informed about your schedule and anything that changes or any challenges you are facing. We most times get afraid or feel like, oh, if we approach them, it's going to be a problem. But here's the thing. Do not be afraid to ask them for help or even extensions when needed. Yes, for example, you're struggling with a particular class. You want to let the professor know that you're struggling with a particular class. You want to let your academic advisor know that you're struggling. That way they get you a tutor. And aside from that, you can also join class groups. You can also look for somebody who is intelligent in that class of yours. Join body and learn. I'm even going too far. I'm sure you have seniors. I'm sure you have juniors. I'm sure you have sophomores who have been through this process. Even if you are a sophomore, even if you're a junior, even if you are even a senior, there must have been somebody who probably must have taken this course and got it right. You can ask questions and they can, you figure out or schedule time where both of you would meet, or you go for class preps or your tutor. That way you are being helped academically. Then now, athletically, when you're injured, speak to your coach. Don't go and be forming James Bond. I'm going to be fine. Speak to your trainers. Have yourself treated. Take care of your body. It is very important. If your body is not, you did not run 10-0 when you had your full leg. It's that time that you're having an hamstring injury, you think you run the 10-0 you've now run. That's what they say, they break world record. My brother, chill. Health is wealth. It is when you're healthy you can achieve that thing you're thinking of. So you want to make sure you're taking care of your body, physically and mentally. If you have a challenge, speak to your coach, speak to your trainers, speak up, communicate. If you have academic issues, speak to your professors, speak to your tutor, and that way you would be fine. That way we're not worried about this part. So let's move to the next. Take care of your physical and mental health. That's the same thing I was talking about. You want to make sure you allocate time for rest, which is very important. Allocate time for rest, recovery, and self-care to maintain your overall well-being, which includes healthy eating and sufficient sleep. That word is important. Take advantage of the facilities, take advantage of the persons that have been given to you or that have been put in a particular position to take care of you. They are health workers. If you need to speak to a mental health care agent, please go ahead and speak to them. Don't say I don't. Please do. While you're praying, studying the word, believing the word of God over your life, make sure you're doing the part you need to do physically. But these are the things we don't put into consideration. These little things can make or mar us. Next, you want to stay organized. If you are a person who does not know how to stay organized, you can use tools like planners, calendars, or apps to stay organized and keep track of your schedule, your assignments, and deadlines. Make sure you set reminders and notifications to ensure that you never miss a beat. Very important. Because you might have an assignment now, you will not see it though. Look, you would have loads of assignments on your Canvas. I don't know what your school will be making use of. Where I school, that is what we use, Canvas. Even while I was in junior college, it was Canvas I used. So the Canvas app is where you get to see your grades, your assignment, your classwork, everything happening in that particular course you're taking. That is where you can email your lecturers and your lecturers will email you back. If you have class groups, that's where you see it. That's where you see everybody on your class team. You want to make sure that whatever it is you feel like your brain cannot take, put it down on. Have it planned out. So you want to make sure that you put down your plans in writing. Have them mapped on your wall. If you need reminder, that way let it be at your door so that you're leaving that money, you are seeing it. As you are coming back, you are seeing it. Make sure you also set time reminders on your phone. Alarms, they would help you. That way you will meet up with your deadlines. Here's the good thing. When you're able to take care of these things on time, you avoid challenges. Trust me. I'm telling you the sincerest truth. Then next, you want to make sure that you're regularly reviewing the strategies and you are also adjusting everything needed to ensure that you are achieving your academic and athletic goals. I know at the beginning I said set goals, but you also want to go back to these goals, review them and ensure that you are achieving these goals you've set. When I say set goals, I don't go and say set 1 year goal and come back and be set a day goal, set a week goals, set a month goal, set yearly goals. That way you follow them little by little, bricks by bricks. That is the only way you achieve it. In little chunks, small drops of water. Yes, now go full buckets. But if you want first full bucket, good job. Told you mine. So another thing that we do that we do not put into consideration is learning the act of saying no. Yes, be mindful of your work and avoid taking too much of it. Learn to say no to non-essential commitments that may interfere in your academic and athletic responsibilities. This is a very crucial and important point. Learn to say no. You just came back from practice, somebody is knocking at your door. How far now? There's a party. Don't you want to come down? And you carry your two-legged this bench. Kill on pay party. Let that party not kill you. Yes, Because your body needs rest. Mentally, you need to rest. I'm sure you have assignments to take care of. You are heading to party. Weekends that you're supposed to rest, do laundries, you understand? Even if you go out, make sure you're going out for things that would benefit you, not things that would take out from you. It's how you manage your time. You want to be in a space that you're going to get better positively, not things that would drain you out and by the time you're done it's like you're gone. You don't need all of that. Trust me. You want to stay focused and minimize any distraction during study session and practice. Yes, when you're studying, you don't need anything to distract you. So you can kindly put your phone on do not disturb, slide it under your table. When you're done studying, you bring it up again so that you'll not be studying and be looking at your phone. Yes, these things are important. Same thing as practice. You don't want to be at practice and you are there being somebody that is running fast. Instead of it, focus on yourself to get better. You are there stressing your mental health. God has given you the gift. Calm down and trust Him and you'll get there. Just put in the work and trust the process. Art of positive confessions. When you feel downcasted, say the right things to yourself. You'll be fine and trust God. Yeah, trust Him. Then another thing, you want to seek support. When I mean seek support, make sure that you surround yourself with people who support and encourage you. People do not know the importance of this, but let me tell you something. When you have the right circle around you, right, the chances of becoming a better person is 100% higher. Yeah. Evil communication corrupts good man. So you want to make sure that you have the people who are pouring in rightly into you, not taking out the one you have and pouring in the wrong things. The people you surround yourself with matters a lot. Your support system matters a lot. You don't need people who would distract you. You don't need people who would say the wrong things to you and downcast you with their words, or better still, take you to places you're not meant to be. Yes. Then next, you want to stay flexible. Always be prepared to adjust your schedule as needed. Life can come up with unpredictable challenges and things that we don't always even plan for. So make sure you stay flexible and you're willing to make changes when it is necessary. Then make sure you prioritize your sleep. Adequate sleep is essential for physical and mental recovery. Aim to at least cover 7 to 9 hours sleep each night to help your body and mind return. Yes. Well, you also want to add this, eat right. Balanced diet would help you. This is not a place where you come to and say, oh, where will I get money? How will I feed? You're on a fully funded scholarship, so everything is being covered. So I don't see any reason why you are now not taking advantage of what you have, which means you have the money to eat, which means you have good facilities, which means there's nothing stopping you from doing it rightly. So make sure you're having healthy diets. Second to the last, hydrate. Hydration is important. It helps your body recharge. It does so much than we think. Drink plenty of water throughout the day to stay hydrated and focused. Aim for at least 8 cups, 64 ounces of water. They would help you and make a change in your system. Now, the final and the orgasm hold. I am not your pastor. I'm not here to preach. But let me ask you, do you know Jesus? Yeah, because all these things I have said, He's gonna be very useless if you don't have God in your life. So hold Him and hold Him well, because He's the provider of it all. If He decides to cease, you are gone. So you want to make sure you are on His good books. I hope that this point has been able to bring you to an understanding of what time management is. As an athlete manager, I work with one of the best recruiting companies in the country or in the nation. That's the right word to use. So I have recruited good athletes into D1 schools, and at the end of the day, they end up in junior colleges, not because they are not good, but just because they had issues with time management. I don't want that for you. And if you are already here in the United States and you're seeing this, these things I have listed out, go back and check. Are you managing your time properly? I know it's not easy being a student athlete, and I applaud you for that. But always remember the purpose behind the beginning of your journey. That way you would understand that you have come to allow these little things that don't matter distract you from where you are headed. If you made it this far, that means you are an MVP, and I love you so much. If you have questions, do well to push them in the comment section. I'm also going to tag the link to the playlist of everything that has to do with scholarship and standards in the description box below. I still remain Star Mpama. Until we meet again, be good, stay safe.